Wiggity, what's up, fam? Welcome back to more VLR, Virtue's Last Reward. Last time we finally achieved an ending in this fucking stupid-ass game. We got the Tenmyuji ending, our first one. While we were gone, of course, off on that route, we obtained the ability to progress in a route that basically was my first route. The first thing I ever did in this game was choose to ally with Alice. She betrayed me, then brought us back to this route, and then we went into the Bee Garden for the first time, and then had a sequence in which we had both Quark and Alice contract the Radical 6 virus. We ended up having some of the cure to it, which I for some reason forget now, but Alexavir or something? And the problem is that the dosage is only enough for one because they use like a medicine gun. However, we know where more is. So effectively, this opens up this lock and gives us an opportunity. Let's go. Let's see where this plot line leads. I had to give a bit of setup because I'm sure some people have forgotten. I haven't.
Please pay attention.
I'm recording this in large batches, but people are watching this like once a day, potentially.
You need to hear this. The atom has finished...
What did it say?
Alright, let's skip a little bit of this here.
We're going to the treatment center.
Ah, here we go. There's the Alexavir, they have a conversation about it. While we all stood, Phi moved. Ah, yeah, she's checking to see if there's any more. Think, there had to be some way to say both of them. If it was there, I knew it. IG, immunoglobulin.
Do you know what immunoglobulin is? It's another name for antibodies. Some people have antibodies that can fight off Radical 6.
IG replicator.
Replicator makes it sound like it makes copies of stuff.
Huh. So if we just go to the laboratory, we can just pour this shit in and it just copies it, right?
Probably copies IG, or whatever that is. Who knows? Ice cream by the gallon?
You didn't have to include the ice cream bit. That's it! I've come up with a new recipe for safety. The IG replicator in the lab. It's an immunoglobulin. It's a goblin machine.
What?
If I told you I had a nick. It can copy the immunoglobulin antibodies. Luna just said Alexavir is made of antibodies. That means we can make more Axelavir.
Hold on a moment. There is a strange device in the laboratory that says IG replicator on it. Clover and I examined it thoroughly when we were in that room.
Yeah, we never could figure out what it did, though.
Exactly. My question is, how do you know about it, Sigma?
I saw it when I was in the laboratory.
When was that?
Probably when you were looking for Alice, right?
Nah, Dio was wrong. I hadn't gone to the laboratory when I was looking for Alice. I didn't think I'd ever been to a laboratory. So how did I know about this?
If what he's saying is true, then we should be able to duplicate the Axelavir. That would mean we could cure Alice and Quark.
Let's go have a look then. The laboratory, right?
Yeah, no time to waste.
We all nodded. Wait, we can't leave them here all alone. Luna, do you think you can stay behind and look after them?
Oh, of course. I'd be happy to.
Alright then, let's go guys. I have to wonder what's happening with the old lady right now. Because she shows up before. She's like dead when you pick the other route. But she doesn't show up here at all. I think that's what makes it shocking that you get that she appeared there during round 1 of the AB game in another timeline. She could be doing just fine in other places. Alright, now to the lab. Time to concoct a plan to save everything.
So this is the lab, huh?
Yes.
Where's this IG replicator thing?
Right here, see?
So this can copy the Excelavir?
I think so.
What are we waiting for?
Calm down, alright? Don't rush me. Carefully lowered the small vial of Excelavir into the slot. An empty vial already protruded from the other side. Presumably, that's where the duplicated Excelavir would go. Ready? When I push this button, it should...
Skip it. Just press the damn thing.
Right. And pressed. Did it work?
Have a look. The empty vial has something in it now.
And the vial Sigma used remains as it was. It does not seem to have lost any of its contents.
So, it worked?
Would have been pretty bad if it hadn't.
Alright, let's get this thing back to the infirmary. Reach down, pull both vials from the machine, intending to slip them deftly into my pocket. Ah, shit.
happened?
Sorry, my hand slipped.
You dropped one of them?
Yeah, just one, though.
What the hell? What if you'd broken it, you idiot?
Come on! If it had broken, then we could just make another one. Before he could reply, if I spoke.
Guys?
Surprised to hear her voice coming from near my feet. Looked down.
You see? It did break.
No, the vial's fine. See?
She held it up in one hand, but didn't move her eyes.
Then what the heck is going on down there?
What's under this table?
Take a look.
Oh, fuck! Oh, God! Ah! It's
Whoa.
another bomb!
That makes two then.
Guess K was right after all.
Ah! Zoinks!
So there
Scoob!
So it would seem.
Was this here when you guys came through the first time?
No, it was not.
Yeah, I didn't see anything, and I looked real hard.
Then somebody must have said it while we were looking for Alice.
Who the hell would do that?
We're all out looking for Alice. It could have been any of us.
No, not any of us. I was back in the infirmary. Quark was still out.
So we shouldn't consider you a suspect. Is that right?
Yeah. Quark's off the list, too.
But Tenmyoji, you have no proof that you spent the entire time in the infirmary, do you?
What?
You could have quietly made your way to the laboratory, planted the bomb.
That's insane. Listen to yourself. There's no way in hell I'd have left Quark all by himself to go plant a goddamn bomb.
I'm not gonna fucking do that!
Hey, what's this thing?
Huh?
It looks like a memory card.
Another memory card?
Where was it?
Right under the bomb.
Well, we could use that in the infirmary on the
It
TV.
was down on the floor under the table.
Could it have been put here by the same person who set the bomb? There was nothing like it here when we examined this room.
You think they dropped it accidentally?
Unless it was left here intentionally, yes. I imagine so.
What do you think's on it?
Let's take a look. Could I see it for a minute?
Yeah, I guess so.
I plucked the card out of her hand and looked around the room. Nothing. Shoot, no dice. We'll need to plug it into something that can read memory cards, but I don't see anything
So
here.
what do we do?
Come on, if I knew, I'd be doing it.
10 minutes. All players. If no vote is...
Guys, I think maybe we should get back to the top floor.
Yeah, you're right. We've got what we came here for.
What should we do about the, bomb?
The, what's the name for it? Boom Boom.
Not much we can do except leave it here. Alice said it'd be dangerous to touch them.
True, but
Drop it. We can talk about the bombs later. Right now, we need to take care of Alice and Quark.
Right. So we'll go back to the infirmary, give them the Accelavir, then head to Floria Warehouse.
Right. This ought to do it. It might take a little while, but they should recover.
Mucho grande. Tacos and burritos. We did it. Her voice was quiet as she backed away from Alice and Quark. In her hand was the injection gun. She carefully removed the empty vial, placed it gently in the cabinet with the other one. While we were in the lab, Luna had moved Quark to a crude cot. They both looked peaceful as they slept. And also badly modeled. Can't forget about
Are
that.
they really going to be alright?
Yes. The analysis I did on the vials confirmed that the duplicate was real Accelavir. The original was genuine too, of course. Now that they've been treated...
It's only a matter of time before the virus is eliminated.
I believe so, yes. Oh man, what a relief.
Well, this is the first time we've cured both of them.
I was really worried.
Clover grinned. Do you need to tell me that? All she does is grin. Now, if you said Clover frowned, I'm like, alright, that's some fucking news you need to send to me. Like, front page news. Clover has more than one fucking emotion. We modeled something
5
new.
minutes
We
remain
did it!
until Ambidex game.
Oh man, I'm a fucking
closes.
trip, ain't I? Like, comment, and subscribe.
All right, everybody. We can be relieved later. Right now, we need to get to the AB rooms and fast.
Damn. Don't even have time to catch our breath.
I mean, to be fair, only one person had to run in here and do this, but... Hey, we have to do everything as a family. Huh? Where's Tenmyuji?
Oh, he stayed back in the infirmary.
What?
Why?
Well, when we were all heading out, I noticed he wasn't doing anything. So I asked him if he was coming with us, and this is what I got.
I'm still worried about Quark and Alice. I think I'll stick around and make sure they're okay.
I see. That means that Phi's only opponent will be Dio.
One-on-one, huh?
Ugh.
That's cool. Nothing to worry about. I plan to choose Ally. You know why?
Because I've only got one BP.
Exactly. If you chose Ally and I betrayed you, your BP would drop below 0 and... well, we know what happens then.
She would die because you're gonna pick Betrayed. You're a piece of shit, Dio. You've always been shit. The only time he's voted appropriately that wouldn't fuck someone else was when Kay was there. He's like, I'm gonna make sure you don't do that. That's
man.
not a Kay
Not
voice
that
at all, but
desperate.
that was like closer to Bernie Mac. Give me a cookie. Alright.
Tenmyuji and Dio are a pair. Tenmyuji only had one BP left. Since Dio said he's going to pick Ally, Phi can't really pick anything else. If she does, Tenmyuji will...
Yeah, that's pretty much it.
Kay and I are going to be going one-on-one too, right? Since Quark's still sleeping.
That is correct.
How many BP do you guys have?
I've got 6.
As do I.
This will be a tough one then.
If one of them can get the other to Ally, and then betray that person, the betrayer will have 9 points.
Sounds like you two are gonna hit Betray on each other and get no points.
Look, Kay, I know you don't really have any reason to trust me, but...
I know. You would like us both to vote Ally, yes?
Yeah.
I agree. If we were to both betray, then we would gain no points. We would lose nothing either, but that's hardly relevant. If both of us cooperate, then we will both gain 2 points, which is much more beneficial.
Right. Okay, good. You're really gonna do it, right?
Yes,
Promise?
promise.
1 minute remains until Ambidex game polling closes.
Shit, this is bad.
Yeah, it's time to go.
Now.
Indeed. Shall we?
DOK, Phi, and Clover all took off immediately, heading into different AB rooms. Counting from the left, Dio went to room 3, K went to room 4, Phi and Clover went to rooms 5 and 6, respectively. That left Luna and myself. Hello! What do you think about taking the one on the far left?
Sounds good.
With that settled, we headed in. Let's use our little moon key. Shoobadoo. We got ourselves a game, folks.
30 seconds remain.
It's probably a little late to say this, but you know Alice is still in the infirmary, so...
You're saying we should pick Ally, right? Since Alice is going to default to that anyway?
Yes.
Yeah. I know, it's not really fair to betray someone who isn't voting. Luna's face broke into a warm, happy smile. Not to be sappy, it felt like a ray of sunshine. Yep.
10 seconds remain until Ambidex game polling closes.
Oh, okay.
9, 8, 7, 6, 5,
4, 3,
3,
2, 1. I gotcha.
2, 1.
Okay, what are our options here? First off, the game doesn't let me look at the flow anymore. Okay. Well, I like doing betray first all the time now. I like doing betray whenever it's the second one.
Has been completed.
Whenever it's the second AB game, I like doing second and third. I like doing the AB game and then doing betray. Because usually it leads to an ending and a non-canon moment. And we're gonna find out what that is here. Oh my god. Okay, no, nigga, I'm too scared. Hey, buddies! We do the quick stuff first. Quick stuff first, folks. Quickie dickies. Let's go.
Please.
The results. K, Quark, and Clover did double betray. Double betray. What? What?
Points have been assigned or subtracted accordingly.
Wait one diddly darn minute.
Please check your bracelet to see your updated bracelet points.
I've been bamboozled. Again. I'm dead. I'm fucking dead. That's why Betray has more. Are you fucking kidding? Oh my god.
Sigma! Hang on! Oh no! Sigma, get up!
Sigma!
No, why?
My eyelids felt like they were made of lead, but I forced them open. Everything was growing blurry, but I noticed the door of the second AB room was open. No one had gone to that room. I'd watched them all, and yet There she stood, an apparition that couldn't possibly be real. How the fuck? This bitch coming out from the jaws of death like, I gotta fuck him! I gotta fuck him! It's like she was made to enrage me. Like her purpose is to ruin my life. This fucking cunt. Cunt, cunt, cunt. This is going to be the Let's Play with the most usages of the word cunt because it describes her perfectly. Jump back in. Jump back in. Get us this score. Let's watch our points even out. As expected. The first round to have zeros across the fucking board.
At least.
Oh my god. I'm so glad I switched. Like, I'm so glad I switched the second I went, oh shit, this flowchart's like the longer one. Because, good lord, that would have dampened my reaction. Wasn't possible. I blinked, rubbed my eyes, and looked again. How could Alice vote be betray? That's not possible. Alice? She wasn't standing inside the second room. Or she was. The room that should have been empty. Why? Where'd she come from? She began to move toward us. Around me I heard a chorus of muted gasps. If they were muted, then how did you hear them? It seems we were united in our surprise and confusion, and then realized, oh, she's a piece of shit. She drew to a stop in front of me and glanced up at the display.
Thought you'd get an easy couple points, huh? Not so easy when you have to look your victim in the eye, is it? Coward.
Me, a coward? You've got some balls saying that! Why are you even here?
You gave me the antivirus, didn't you? Tenmyoji told me. Thank you. I mean that from the bottom of my heart, honestly.
But you should still be under the effects of the anesthetic.
Yes, well, I still am. A bit.
Well, how wonderful that the one time we get to have an interaction with you is when I choose betray, so that you can have a leg to stand on in this fucking conversation. I'm gonna fucking lose my mind.
I have a throbbing headache, and I can barely stand. It's horrible.
Oh, boo fucking who, you dumb cunt.
I'm more resistant to anesthetics than most people.
Oh, great. Brag
Result
about
of my
it.
training.
Yeah, okay, I
Feeling
care.
Zero Senior knew that.
Sure,
They gave
whatever.
Me way more than the standard dose of that gas when they kidnapped me. In any event, a few minutes ago I woke up in the infirmary. Tenmyoji explained what was going on, and I got here as fast as I could.
So you showed up right after we gone to the AB room.
Yes, right in the nick of time, too. About 10 seconds before the deadline, as I recall.
You did that just so you could betray us?
Right. What? Don't I get to do that? I mean, it turned out to be the right thing to do, didn't it? You two chose betray. If I'd stayed back there, I'd have lost 2 points.
So you're saying it was self-defense?
Yes.
You're full of shit. Self-defense my ass. This is the same timeline where you betrayed me before. You wanted out. You had 6 BP. If I picked ally, you would have had 9. That's why you were doing that.
So what if I was?
Are you serious right now? You would have killed me. Look, I only have 1. You were this close to murdering me. Just admit it. You were planning to kill me so you could escape.
Don't be stupid. I knew you'd choose betray. There was...
Tell the truth!
That is the truth. Why am I the only one getting the 3rd degree here? Look at those results. 2 other people just tried to kill someone.
The difference here is that your life was saved. and you know who saved it. But you still chose it. Because you're a cunt.
Yes. If Dio had chosen ally, Phi would have killed Tenmyoji. And if she'd chosen ally, Dio would have killed her.
I don't want to be rude, but it looks like Clover and Kay tried to trick one another. Not that it seems to have worked. If either one had chosen ally, the other one would have 9 BP right now.
Turn to look at the results, but I haven't been looking at my own. Everyone betrayed everyone. Everyone. Alright guys, pay attention. You probably already figured this out, but we can't keep going like this. If we don't start being a little more trusting, we're never gonna get out of here. We need to work together. Might as well have been talking to a wall.
My apologies, Sigma. But I need to think on something for a bit. I would appreciate being left alone.
I'll be leaving too. Things are getting a little too intense here for my delicate constitution.
Delicate?
Sorry.
Delicate.
Well, in that case...
Etouffai?
Yeah, sorry.
Without another word, she turned and left the warehouse. Dio and Kay quickly followed suit.
See?
See? Everyone's a piece of shit, so it's fine if I am!
There's your answer.
I'm a cunt!
In the end, everyone's just thinking about themselves.
Cut!
So I would appreciate it if you could not treat me like I'm the only villain here.
My voice is going out. Oh, man. Oh, God.
Come on, Clover. Let's go.
Hold on! I'm coming! Are you feeling okay? I was really worried, you know? Everyone's gone.
Yeah. You aren't going to leave too?
No,
Are you sure? I chose betray.
I know, but I still believe in you, Sigma. I think your hand must have just slipped or something, right?
My chest hurt, and when I blinked, I felt something hot and wet prick the corners of my eyes. Luna, I bit my lip. Before I could think of anything to say, the metallic rumble of doors closing echoed through the warehouse.
The Ambidex gates have closed. Round 3 of the Ambidex game start the
As many times as we want, huh?
Yes, as long as we have the star keys. That means we can keep playing the AB game over and over, too. Sigma? Could you show me your bracelet? Do you remember what Zero Jr. said?
As soon as the gates close, your colors get all shuffled. Appearance.
Yeah, I remember. Let's see here.
I'm a magenta pair. They could be anything, I suppose. We won't know until we have a look.
Oh, we got about an hour and a half. I'm so done. I don't even care.
Everyone else has gone off on their own.
Won't matter how many times we repeat the AB game if no one trusts anybody else. It's deadlocked. We'll never be able to get out of here.
Maybe it would help if we all had a common goal. Something to unite our hearts and minds.
Yeah, we already got something like that. We all want to get out of here. That seems like a pretty clear goal to me, but everyone chose betray.
Well, what if we have an enemy?
An enemy?
Yes, a common, like the person who set the bombs, for instance.
After coming back from the lab, told her about the bomb. Yeah, that might work. We can figure out which one of us planted the bombs, and everyone else could work together against them. But how will we figure out who it is?
Well, do you have any clues?
I had to sneeze. Clues, huh? That's right, the memory card.
What's this?
I had completely blanked on that. I was so busy wanting to threaten murder that it didn't really pop up. It's under the bomb we found in the lab.
Really?
I missed text and just kind of... Yeah, I don't know what's on it, though. We couldn't find any kind of memory card
I guess
reader.
we can't really use it then. Oh, wait a second. You know what? I think I might...
Oh,
Yes,
good. Do you
I
know?
remember the infirmary. I saw it when I was searching the infirmary with Theo and Quark. There was a memory card just like that one.
Then...
Yes, I think we can see what's on it. The computer there should be able to read it.
Fine. Let this memory card be our X factor. Quark was there as well, of course.
What are you doing here?
Oh, what? Am I not allowed in the infirmary? I'm gonna rip open your thighs! I'm gonna eat them! I'm not gonna like it either. Really want people to start trusting each other? Well, real change starts at home. As quickly as I could, I explained the second bomb and the memory card, how we wanted to come to the infirmary in the hopes that we could discover the contents of the latter.
Okay.
Then stick it in already!
Go ahead.
Alright. Let's just slide it in. Okay.
6 rows, 22 letters each.
It looks like the odd rows use one set of letters, and the even rows use another set.
Oh yeah, it repeats.
In other words, the first 2 rows just repeat. Yeah.
Some kind of code?
Doesn't look random to me. I think there might be a pattern. I just don't know what it is.
Was there anything else on there? No, it doesn't look like it.
Hey Alice, you haven't said anything for a while. What's up?
Does any of this look familiar to you, Clover?
What do you mean?
Have you seen something like this before? Maybe during your training?
Training?
This is...
So you do recognize it.
All right, knock it off, you two. How about you share it with the rest of the class?
Yeah, please, offer something. Contribute.
I believe this is an encoded message from a terrorist organization.
What?
They call themselves the Myrmidons.
Okay, sure, whatever.
What are the Myrmidons?
Myrmidons!
Put simply, they're a bunch of thugs who are trying to destroy or dismantle most of human civilization.
So this thing we're looking at... You think it's theirs?
Well, they have a number of different codes, but I do think this is one of them.
Then the bomb? It was set by one of the Myrmidons, wasn't it?
Yes. Well, I can't say for sure, of course, but it seems likely.
Alright, let me start with this one. What the heck does that thing say?
I don't know.
What?
How am I supposed to decode it? I don't have the key. Without a key, it would take literally hundreds of years to decode.
Alright, good, you're very
How
helpful.
about you, Clover?
Well, if Alice doesn't know how, I sure don't.
See.
Alice, Clover, who the hell are you? Why do you know about this code?
That's...
You told me your job was to eliminate enemies of the state or something like that. Which is what the hell kind of job is that? I think it's time you told us what you do.
Sorry, but I can't.
Why not?
Because you might be one of them. You might be the person who set the bomb.
That's idiotic. Of course I'm
Really?
not.
And where's your proof? For all I know, you're my enemy. I can't tell you anything.
Oh, what a surprise. You continue to be shit. I just want all of us to get out of here. Just please. We need to find out who did this so we can escape. We don't have any information. You won't tell us about yourself, then just tell us about the Myrmidons.
I'm sorry.
You can't even tell us about this? She's a cunt! Capital C. Capital U.
How long are you going to keep following me? Then why don't you just ask Clover? You
Clover?
already know she works with me.
Well,
Then
yeah.
why don't you...
I wanted to hear it from you.
Why?
That's a good question. Remember the crew quarters or this garden? Got paired up for 2 separate rounds. It means I've spent more time with you than anybody else here. Maybe that's it. Guess I'm just curious about you.
What are you talking about?
She spun around to hide it, but I caught a blush of red on her cheeks. We walked down the path to where it ended next to the pond. I stayed silent. Alice sat down on the bench, gazed at the smooth surface of the pond for several long minutes before she began to speak.
You don't hate me?
Why?
I tried to kill you.
You mean in the AB game?
Yes. I was so scared. Who wouldn't be? Kidnapped and locked up, forced to play some sort of bizarre game. And then we found that bomb. I know I probably sounded calm, but as soon as we found that thing, all I wanted to do was run away from it as fast as I could. Things just went downhill from there.
What do you
I
mean?
remember hearing that Quark had collapsed and running to the infirmary with everyone else. When I got there, I realized I couldn't understand what anyone was saying. And everything looked... I don't know how to describe it. It was like watching a video on fast forward, only it was real. Then I started to feel like... It's hard to explain. I guess you could say I didn't feel like I was myself, and it only got worse. Yes, I think so. I don't remember much after that. But when I woke up in the infirmary, suddenly all that fear was back. So all I could think about was getting out of this place as fast as I could. It never even crossed my mind that it could kill you. God help me, even if it had, I don't think I would have cared. See? I'm horrible. You hate me, don't you? Just do it!
I do. I absolutely
Kill
do.
me! Get it over with!
I'm not gonna kill you. What will that do? I don't even hate you.
Lying!
I just think you're a cunt. That's those are two very different things, to be honest.
I could have killed you. I would have killed you.
Calm down, no one's killing anyone. I brushed the thumb across her cheek and tried to comfort her in the way that you would normally do. It's because I am attempting to get information out of you. That's who you're after, right? The people who killed your dad?
Yes.
Did they have anything to do with the Myrmidons?
Will you promise not to tell Clover that I cried?
Come
If you
on.
keep your mouth shut. I'll tell you what you want to know. About myself. And about the Myrmidons. Deal?
Sure. Let's go. I don't remember you crying. You're too much of a cunt to do that.
Alright then.
Boo, I have to read. Ah, fuck me. My father is Egyptian, but my mother is French. They met while my mother was in Egypt on vacation and married shortly thereafter. When I was 3, we all moved to the US. My father was a scientist and his field was cloning. What? Is that just a thing you can do? Frankly, I don't know. I'm not a doctor. What would being a doctor have to... No, he was recruited by an American lab, which is why we had moved. Both of my parents had used English around me from the time I was born, so I didn't have any problems adapting to life in the US. By my 9th birthday, we'd been there for 6 years. That's when it happened. Middle of the day, my mother showed up at school. Her eyes were red and puffy, but she didn't say anything to me on the drive home. When we arrived, there were several policemen there to meet us. My father had always been very punctual. And when dinner time came and went with no sign of him, even I began to realize something terrible had happened. It wasn't until several days later that I finally learned the truth. My father's lab had been attacked by terrorists, and he had been kidnapped. For the rest of my childhood, my mother raised me by herself. Didn't realize it then, but it must have been incredibly difficult for her as a single mother alone, country where any relatives were a transatlantic flight away. She did her best not to let me see it, but every so often, when she thought she was alone, the mask would fall away, and in every line in her face I could see exhaustion and loneliness. As much as I miss my father, it was those moments that made me wish more than anything that he'd never been taken. Fortunately, I was an excellent student, and did especially well in math, and earned a full-ride scholarship straight out of high school, and spent the next several years studying. After graduation, I took a job with the Department of Defense, hoping that they might have the resources to help me look for my father. I was immediately assigned to the Special Office of Internal Security. Their purpose is to investigate and sometimes deal with terrorist organizations and other serious threats to the state. I could tell my mother wasn't happy about my decision, but she chose to remain silent about it. Eventually, I learned that the terrorist organization that had taken my father was none other than the Myrmidons, although at the time, that name didn't mean anything to me. They were suspected of human cloning. Specifically, it was thought that they had been using cloning techniques to copy their most useful members and expand their ranks. The Myrmidons apparently believed that they could use cloning to create a new race of humans. Now, at last I knew the reason for my father's abduction. The commander of the Myrmidons is a man named Left. What?! Who is this bad guy we're gonna come up with? Left. Left. We know his name and his gender, but not his appearance or his age. The Myrmidons are closely associated with a cult known as Free the Soul. We believe that Free the Soul provides their funding. Alright, just based on limited art of this guy, I'm assuming this is Left. I guess Dio's Left, because they have the same haircut. If it's that obvious, then fuck me. I would say that a weird cult would be a circus. Free the Soul provides their funding. But trying to pin any of their misdeeds on the cult's leader, a man named Brother, is like trying to nail Jello to a wall. Then again, this might be this guy. This might be the Brother guy, so he might be Brother. I don't know. I like to think that everything is so blatantly connected, because that's how the other game was. Where no one talks about anything unless it's important to the plot. I knew the Myrmidons had been behind my father's kidnapping, but that was all I could learn about them. Then one day I got a tip of some of them were hiding in a building in the Nevada desert. I headed out immediately. On the way there, my car had some trouble and stalled out. I was trying to decide what to do when an SUV appeared out of nowhere. If you're going to ask me why I was wearing some weird Egyptian headgear, it was because the plot at the end of the last game was very stupid. This was the first time I met with Clover. There were 4 other people in the car with her, and when I asked them what they were doing, I got that was just about the last answer I expected. Told me they'd been locked up inside the very building I'd been on my way to investigate, and that they were currently in pursuit of the people who kidnapped them in the first place. My priorities shifted very quickly. After a short discussion, I convinced them to allow me to come along. My hope was to find the people they were chasing, who I was certain were Myrmidons. In the end, however, we're unable to track them down. Okay, that's interesting, that the Myrmidons might be Santa and Akane. That might be a thing. In fact, I still don't know where they might have gone. They eluded you. Eventually, I took Clover and her companions to SOIS headquarters. We decided that involving the police would only complicate things. That's cool. Did you know about the weird dude in the trunk? After some questioning, it was determined that the people who had instigated this particular event were not connected to the Myrmidons. Okay. We did, however, discover that the mysterious disappearance and subsequent reappearance of several children 9 years prior was connected to Free the Soul. It was? Oh yeah, because they said there was like some weird group. There was also a 6th person in the SUV, although they weren't riding in it per se. Middle-aged man, who I'll just call H for now, for, I guess, Hongo, had been bound and placed in the trunk. According to the other 4, he'd been behind the disappearance of the children 9 years earlier. We also learned that his pharmaceutical company, a major player on the world stage, was effectively controlled by Free the Soul. I like that they have to fucking throw this in there. Yo, Free the Soul is the longer-standing, bigger bad guy. This is the real shit. And then, who fucking knows next? Free the Soul's like, we're gonna fucking put clones on Mars. I'm trying to think of where this is going. It's gonna be really stupid. So why did he kidnap all those children? Apparently been part of an experiment designed to test the ability of certain people to access what's called the morphogenic field. I don't imagine you've ever heard of it because it sounds really fucking stupid. Basically, it's the fucking thing from 999, transferring information even if you're not in the same location. And also being able to basically force people to do what you want. Wasn't too long after the incident in Nevada that another tip about the Myrmidons crossed my desk. This time it claimed the Myrmidons intended to launch a large-scale biological terrorist attack. My bosses decided that we needed more agents to deal with the threat, and Clover was recruited. Because she'd been a test subject in Hongo's experiment, we knew that she had the ability to access the field, wanted to put that ability to use. After several months of training, she was sent on her first mission. She would be tasked with infiltration and investigation of a Myrmidon cloning lab. I was assigned to be her commanding officer. I hope that our investigation might also give me a lead on my father's whereabouts. At last, I had a chance to find out what happened to him. Wouldn't let that chance pass me by. Perhaps that was what kept me from noticing the truth. The whole operation was a trap. The lab was fake, and Clover was captured almost immediately. And the worst thing, she was wearing an outfit that doesn't make this game look embarrassing sometimes. I got there as fast as I could. But when I arrived, the building was only an empty shell. All the conspirators who had pretended to be researchers and the like had already fled. I searched frantically for Clover until at last in a basement room I found her. She'd been tied to a chair, but the floor next to her was another body. It was my father. It looked as if he'd been dumped there, and when I got to him, his body was already cold, covered in dark, ugly bruises. It wasn't until later I learned he had died from ruptured organs and internal bleeding. They'd beaten him to death. As soon as Clover had been captured, a Myrmidon in a mask came to visit her. He said that unless she wanted to end up like my father, she would leave them alone and tell her masters at the SOIS to do likewise. In retrospect, they must have known who I was and who my father was. That was why they'd killed him. Perhaps they thought they were sending a message to me. Or that once he was gone, I'd lose my reason for chasing them. They were very, very wrong. I took Clover with me and left. I tried to console myself with the fact that I had at least been able to save her. Sometime later, I received a call from the coroner. He told me that there was something I needed to see. There in the morgue was my father, cold and pale on a steel table. I could barely stand to look at him, but the coroner insisted. On his arm were 2 rows of numbers comprised of 8s and 9s. It took a moment to recognize my father's handwriting. He had carved them into his own skin. On his chest was another message, but they were letters this time, not numbers. Not many, just enough to make a short sentence. I love you, Alice. I broke down crying right there in the morgue. They were the first tears I'd shed since the operation had started, and there was no stopping them. There would be no forgiveness, not for the monsters who put my father through this. They destroyed my family. I would make them pay even if I had to die to do it. That night I made a promise to myself. I would avenge my father. It didn't take long to figure out the numbers he'd written were latitude and longitude. They pointed to a chemical factory that had been disguised as an abandoned building. Further investigation revealed that it was the mother lode we'd been looking for, the headquarters of the Myrmidons. I think my father must have known how things would turn out. Knowing he was going to die, he'd written the directions to our enemy's fortress on his own body. He'd sacrificed too much for me to waste this opportunity with recklessness. This time, our operation would succeed. This time, I wouldn't let my excitement put Clover or any of my other agents in danger. So we took our time, gathered information, did our research, and we planned. finally we were ready. December 25th, 2028 was going to be the day we finally set foot inside the stronghold. But on the 22nd, only 3 days before, a man in a gas mask appeared. Masked? I was doing good until then. Just like that, 3 days before you were gonna take him on, you were kidnapped. So you inhaled that gas, passed up, and woke up here in the AB room.
Yes. Well, there it is. Everything that's happened with the Myrmidons and me. I left a few of the details out, of course, but you get the idea.
Sure. Thanks. She gave me a sad sort of smile and stood up.
We should go back.
Your story explained a lot, but there's still one big question.
Which is?
Who here is a Myrmidon? One of us planted the bombs. And based off the code we found, it's pretty clear that person is a Myrmidon. Right?
Yes.
And I agree that we need to figure out who they are.
What do you propose we do?
Well, that's what I wanted to ask you about. Do you have any clues?
Clues? Well, if I could decrypt that code, it might tell us something, but...
How can we do that?
I told you. We need a key. Without that, it's pointless.
What's a key?
A key is a key. It allows you to sort of unlock a code. Myrmidons usually use this huge string of numbers as a key.
A long string of numbers? Could that be? Alright, do I have a string of numbers? Pretty sure I don't. I have to assume I don't because it gives me this. I have to assume we have been denied, folks. Bad news, we can't fucking continue! I mean, we just went through a whole little tirade there. But, looks like that's a wrap. What is the long string of numbers? Lock number 5. Who planted the bomb? And who planted the bomb? So all these are gonna fucking probably explode at some point here. Okay. I guess I'll make this one video. I guess I haven't even been going an hour. It's about to be an hour. So, to wrap up here, we have yet another dead end on this ending. We need to find out a string of numbers, and then we can continue here. We need to figure out who planted the bomb to continue here. Same thing here, who planted the bomb, which is a Myrmidon, probably, so it'll be a terrorist of some sort. I'm pretty hot on it being Dio, to be honest. But we will have to figure that out at some point later. Next time, we're probably going to be doing this again, which will be the round 1 of the AB game that is the yellow door, and it's also the one where we were teamed up with Ten Myuji. We're going to choose to betray him, which he betrayed us, and then we are going to see what this route has to offer. Open any doors that may open from the various locks here. Will we be able to find out how to live with 5 minutes left? I don't know. Can we find out about the chain of numbers or who planted the bomb? Maybe. But that's up to us to maybe open some stuff up, maybe get a new ending, we'll have to see, and then eventually go and look at the third and final big long route as we continue. So, again, this has been another episode of VLR. Gonna end this off. She's still a cunt. It doesn't change anything.